You're listening to Studio 57 Radio, your home for underground hip-hop, rap, and R&B. Studio 57 Radio.
Well, what do we have here, Rebels? Another day, another debacle. Yes, it is the 2-hour disaster piece known as DSR2. It's all right. Come in and join in the fun. It's been a long day, but we got tons to get into because guess what? The NFL's back, baby. It's back, and that's all I even care about. Everything else can go to hell. But I do have a funny anecdote. Well, I don't want to say anecdote, but a little funny note of such to get into, too. So we got lots to get into today. NFL, NCAA, it goes on and on and on. So, without further ado, let's do the do that we do at DSR2. I am Scrappy, and here is your host, Johnny the Moose.
And we are back here for another edition of DSR2. And again, let's get ready for some football. Whether it's college or pro, it doesn't matter. We're all set for it. We got our little tease there and taste over the weekend. We'll get into that. We got NFL action starting out tomorrow night there, baby. It all starts up on this. So again, we'll get into that. We got the MLB season wrapping up here as well. And also, again, we'll get, of course, what we'll get is our annual festival of pick'ems, Scrappy Diamond's predictions, and maybe I'll even tease into a little bit of guys to watch out for the waiver wire on Moose's fantasy moment. Chicka chicka bow wow.
Chicka chicka bow now. Oh, Moose, it's been a long day. Usually we get a few minutes to get ourselves together, and this is as cold of an open as you're going to get on anything that we do. We did not. There was no pre-gaming whatsoever in this situation. So,
sorry, day job got in the way.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting go today. But we'll get through it just like we always do. Social media is available to you guys. Of course, we're streaming Facebook, YouTube, Spreaker, Stitcher, TuneIn, all that happy stuff. We'll have the text line up for you here in just a second once we get through our intro. So we want you guys to get in here. We want you to get in on the conversation, be a part of the whole thing, and take us wherever we're going to go. We're just going to kind of maestro this thing. But we are going to get the picks in. I'm not just going to pick my nose. I mean, I might do that too, but we're going to actually get some picks in. Moose, that's like my favorite part of what we do. So when the NFL is gone, it's like, yeah, it's great. You know, there's always lots of cool storylines. But I like having the pick'ems because each and every week there's a storyline happening in the NFL.
Oh.
And so they've been a little quiet in the off season. We're so used to all the crazy off the field stuff, and we haven't been hearing much of that lately. Other than, the few holdouts and things like that, but that's, neither here nor there really. It's kind of, a lot of that stuff's expected, but I'm all about the NFL. I'm all about the games, the storylines that you get each and every week, which I just don't think that other sports give you like that. I feel like the NBA, I don't know, you have certain stories, right? Like certain matchups and rivalries and stuff like that. But it doesn't feel like, I guess because football is only weekly, and basketball you get games like almost every day. Same thing with baseball. You get so many games that it just doesn't seem like there's a storyline each and every time football, that sport comes on. But that's what I like about football.
Yes.
That's what we do here, guys. Like I'm a little biased on home team, like the Pistons, I guess, a little bit, but and maybe the Red Wings a little bit, but I pretty much root for storylines. I mean, it's not like I don't care what happens with what team and who wins and where or why or how like that. Like I'm rooting for something that we can come on here and rip into.
Right.
And so and the NFL provides a lot of good content. So I'm super excited that it's NFL season. If for nothing else, now you guys get. I know a lot of cats get into fantasy football, and Moose has got you covered. And I know you got your home team you want to talk about. We'll talk about them. Don't you worry. Just because it says Detroit Sports Radio Rebels does not mean that we are Detroit centric. It just means that we have a little bit more info being here in Detroit, and we're nutbags. That's basically it. Nutbags with microphones, but that just didn't sound as good. It didn't roll off the tongue as well. So we went with this instead. So, but you see here, we get the social media up, get the text line up for you guys so you can get involved in this thing. I do not know where you want to start, but
we can get into some football there. We got some. We had some story that kind of on here is Clinton Portis going.
When I first saw that, I wasn't even sure what I was seeing. I was like, "Is this real?" I thought it was like, there's so much bullshit on the internet. Like you can't tell what's real and what's not anymore. So I just didn't know if it was bullshit or not. So I had to like get a couple sources on that before I, and I'm like, and I couldn't believe it. And it's like, dude, why? What? He was like defrauding the health care, for the union.
Yeah, the NFLPA on there.
I was like, whoa, like that's a kind of a big deal. Like, how does that not? Yeah, like
I mean, we're probably the only ones covering it.
I can't believe that nobody. I couldn't. That's why when I saw it on the internet first, before I heard anybody talking about it or anything out there, I didn't see anything, and I'm like, well, who is this? I don't even know who this website is that I'm looking. I don't even know. So it's just I was just in shock. So I didn't look at all the details on what happened. I just seen that but I mean that's a pretty elaborate scenario. You don't think you're gonna get caught at some point? Like I don't know if I understand this. It's so weird.
Yeah, basically he was indicted 2 years ago on fraud charges, and it kind of just on it, and he ends up pleading guilty, but he is facing up to 10 years in prison. He wrongly obtained nearly $100,000 as part of a ring that sought $2.9 million through false reimbursement claims.
Wow.
Well, again, remember, too, is he lost most of his money while playing. His financial advisor is all who's cow dad.
Yeah.
And he basically says, I'm going to find him and I'm going to kill him.
Well, I understand his frustration without a doubt. But I mean,
they going basically trying to go after the NFLPA and defraud them to get your money on it?
Yeah, no.
They're going to find out.
Yeah, always.
They always find out.
They always find out, dude. Well, this is the whole thing.
Baskin-Robbins always knows.
There's a well, there's a paper trail. They're gonna know, right?
Yes.
Like I'm sorry. Okay, guys, I wasn't always the nicest guy. If you didn't know, I wasn't always a straight shooter. And I'm gonna tell you something. The rule. There's a handful of rules that you have to keep in mind if you're doing anything that can get you in trouble. Okay, one. No paper trail. That's the number one thing.
Right.
You can't ever have a paper trail. And this dude had nothing but paper trail. I mean, for what you're doing. Second, no witnesses. Right? You don't want anybody to see you, catch you in the act. And then the third is few accomplices as possible, if any.
Right.
Plausible deniability. You tell nobody nothing. That's how so like he doesn't know any of the rules of the streets. Like come on, man.
Yeah. So yeah, him and Cameron Vanover and what else? Who else was that? Robert McCune basically on there. Both were involved as well. So. On there, yep. Former return specialist Cameron Hanover and former linebacker Robert McCune were also allegedly part of the scheme. Hello.
My mic is acting funky.
And it's also part of it's also his former Saints receiver Joe Horn, former Eagles running back Corral Buckholter, former Washington cornerback Carlos Rogers, former Giant safety James Butler, former Titans defensive end Antoine Odom, and former Patriots receiver Rasheed Caldwell.
Easy for you to say.
But he's dead.
Oh, well. You can't prosecute a dead guy.
Sure you can. Just
his estate.
Yeah. But again, yeah, they'll go after and they try and reimbursement or whatever.
Right. I mean,
on that. But yeah.
Wow. I don't even know what to say.
Dude, so you're taking from your own union who's there. The whole thing was this part of it is to help these players with medical benefits after they retire in the long term.
Sure.
And you're going to basically trying to defraud them.
Well, you're ripping off your own people.
Right.
Is what you're doing. But see, cats don't care, man.
No.
When they're desperate for that, and they need that money, and they're
maybe you should have paid a little more attention when basically who's handling your finances.
Well, that's kind of my whole thing. And you know what?
If they want money, I sign the check. I don't give you free carte blanche.
Well, that's a fact. But I think there's also another thing too that the NFL should, the NFLPA, I guess I should say, the Players Association Union is doing a disservice to these players by not giving them resources that are that are good, right? Like if you want to go outside and do something that's on your own, but we have resources here available so that you don't get jammed up.
Right.
It's just things to teach you. Here's some credible agencies you can use. These are things to look out for. These are do's and don'ts of this, that, and the other. Like, they don't teach any of these cats any of that stuff, and they don't even know how to act when they get this kind of money. You know what I'm saying? And it's going to be the same thing with these kids in the NIL, right?
Right.
They're going to do the name, image, and likeness stuff, and they're not going to know how to act with all that money.
No.
And they're not going to know what to do, and they're going to get trifled on, and they're going to lose their ass.
Yeah. They'll be broke by the time they graduate or leave school.
Right. So, so it's one of those things where, these places, like the NBA Players Association, they should all be teaching you how to it's sad. It's really a sad state of affairs because really most of these cats went to college. Most of these cats they didn't go to college. They went to a fucking major university.
Right.
And they don't have the basic skills required to handle this kind of situation, which they should have. And as far as I'm concerned, that should be part of the curriculum if you want to be an athlete, a student athlete.
Right.
So that way you're prepared.
Well, yeah. I mean, they should have the university should do that, or I don't know. So maybe you know what?
But the NFL should do something.
The NFL should do that. The moment you're basically going, okay, we're going to go into the draft. Okay, you're slated for a draft, whatever. You get whether draft or sign. Guess what? The first month of the season, before the season on yours is, guess what? Come in there. Each team, we're going to be teaching all the rookies basically is the do's and don'ts of financial.
I would think they do all those rookie symposiums and do all that stuff. That's like like when you go to a new company.
Well, I think the NFL does do that now because there was a thing there years ago. And it's not as bad now as it was, but
sure.
It was like half the guys when they retire are going to be broke within 5 years.
I know.
It was like a half or 2/3. It was ridiculous.
Well, this is like an epidemic with people that get money that don't come from money, and it's super simple, right? Like if you don't come from money and you get money, eventually it stops or it runs out, and if you don't know how to handle it, you blow through it, and that's everybody. Like lotto winners.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like anybody.
Movie stars, rock stars.
Yeah, like anybody that kind of
it doesn't matter.
Sure, if they come into that money and they got no way to make it again, then
Yeah, they don't know how to handle it. They'll be basically say, I can just spend whatever I want. No, you can't.
No, right. And so when you start talking about big dollars like that, you can get caught up really quick. I mean, just in taxes, right? If you're not properly taking care of your taxes, ask Wesley Snipes how that turns out.
Yeah, Wesley Snipes, Peter Rose,
right? Tons of guys.
Daryl Strawberry.
Yeah, I was about to say Daryl Strawberry, but he had a whole other list of issues.
But yeah, the taxes was the least of them.
Yes. But but that's what I'm saying. Like, it's just it's crazy to me. Like, that there isn't something. It's really a sad state of affairs that you have to have a company provide that for you when you really should be learning those basic skills in high school and in college. You go to a major university, you've been through the high school program. Like, you should we should be teaching those things, but we don't. And so, since we don't, the NFL needs to get. I mean, the Players Association and the NFL should be working together to provide all that stuff. So it really helps with down the road legacy costs too, if the NFL is really smart about it, because they always seem to have. It's the same thing with dealing with injuries, right? There's it be the I never ever got the whole ignoring the concussion situation, right? So, and fighting the concussion situation. They should have put this stuff in long ago, because in the end, it saves the NFL, right?
Right.
Because in the end, they're not paying all these legacy costs for players that have all these CTE issues and all these other problems that come along with playing the game for at a high level for a long period of time. You just you want to save that cost anyway. So and then with all the issues that could arise along the way. It just seems to make sense to kind of be proactive instead of reactive. And I know we're a reactive society, and we do that here every week too. There's going to be a classic overreaction, and we'll get into that next week because there'll be one right off rip. There'll be a week one overreaction. You're going to see it all. You're going to be listening to it Monday through Wednesday till you get to us, and then we're going to laugh about it, and we're going to do our classic overreaction bit. But it's just. I don't even know what to say. It's just
yeah.
I don't know. Guys, get in on the conversation. Like I said, we got the social media up for you: Facebook, Twitter, all that happy good stuff. If you want to be anonymous or you want to use the text lines, a little easier for you: 313-307-5340. If you don't leave a name or handle, then I will. Drop an area code so you can represent that way. So
sure.
Any way you want to hit us up, it's all there for you. Also, studio57radio@gmail.com if you're still into that. That's old technology these days, Moose. Email's like, it's old technology, man. It's not instant. It takes a second to actually travel through the interweb and land in your box. It's almost instant, but it's not as instant as instant. And today it's all about instant.
Yeah.
Unless you're talking about coffee. Yes. Anyway,
instant coffee sucks.
I was gonna say unless you're talking about coffee, but I think all coffee sucks.
No, coffee's wonderful. Good coffee. Not no cheap shit. I'm a coffee snob. So, all right. So we got NFL action coming up here tomorrow night. We got again we'll get into on there, but. Schedules on there basically is Cam Newton, of course, thinks he's still better than everybody else that's playing out there football-wise.
Well, that's the big story, like from the field kind of aspect, right? I mean, Cam Newton just got flat out cut.
Yeah.
They couldn't try. Look, Cam. Deep breath here, buddy. If you were half as good as you really think that you are, they would have traded you for something. They would have took anything.
Yeah.
If they could have got a 6th round pick for you,
they would have got it.
They would have took it. If they could have gotten a 7th round pick, they probably would have took it. Because what do you think you're worth, my man? They didn't take anything. They just cut you.
And then now the stories coming out there, rumors or whatever, on the stories that are coming out there that Mac Jones was teaching him the playbook. He didn't even know the playbook.
Oh yeah, dude, this is Cam. This has been Cam.
Yeah.
Cam's relied on the fact that he's big and he's athletic and he's strong.
Right.
And then he whines and complains because he gets beat up. And it's like, dude, because you don't know the plays, you don't know how to read defensive coverages, you don't know when to break pocket and when to step up in it. Dude, you have no feel for the game other than like your natural athleticism.
Right.
Like you're not doing anything, and that's fine. That got you through college, and that got you into the pros. It got you to
an MVP,
and it got you to a Super Bowl.
Right.
But I mean, dude, guess what? That shit wears off.
Yeah.
It does, and it's gone, dude. You ain't got it. You ain't got it anymore. And because you didn't develop a skill set, a technique, now you're screwed. You're screwed because you have no technique. You can't sling the ball down the field. You got no velocity on that throw anymore because your mechanics was terrible your whole career.
Right. Oh, it's been terrible. Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
He doesn't
So-
throw accurate on there. Basically, he can throw like a cannon on it, but dude,
He can't even do that anymore.
No.
He's done it for so long, he can't do it anymore.
No, his arm-
Okay, he's like John Bon Jovi, okay? The guy could never sing. He could never sing. But he could scream enough and kind of wail enough that it was okay.
Yeah.
And then when he wailed till his fucking pipes blew, now he sounds like ass.
Right.
And because he never learned to sing, he blew his cords out, and now listening to him makes my ass pucker. And it's the same thing with his arm, with Cam's arm. He's always relied on his athleticism. And he's a freak athlete. Dude, I'm not taking anything away from him. I'm just saying, like, at the end of your career, the reason guys have long-term careers, I mean, Drew Brees, he couldn't sling it downfield no more.
no,
But he had technique. He knew the system.
he can read
he
defenses
could read
like
defensive coverages. He was accurate
right.
because he had good technique. It didn't matter that he was short. Everybody was talking about how tall he was. That don't matter.
No,
Because he had great technique.
yeah,
And he could just flick it downfield when he was younger. And now he can't, but he know how to read defensive. He knows how to disguise stuff. He knows when to make changes at the line. I mean, all that stuff. He knows how to look off receivers. He goes through his progressions. Cam goes to one and then runs.
yeah. Oh yeah, you got him, and then you also got, like, as we said, Breeze. We got Brady, who's going to be what now? Brady's 44 years old,
Yeah.
and look what he won a Super Bowl.
Right.
Because again, he reads defenses like nobody else and gets rid of that ball quick. Boom.
It's all about understanding the game, having superior technique, having superior, preparation, all that stuff. And dude, the guy couldn't even follow the COVID protocols.
No.
And you're not going to get vaccinated, but you're not going to follow the protocols?
Well, guess what?
Dude,
As we always said on there,
your bullshit way
higher
outweighs.
than your talent factor is now.
Absolutely. When your bullshit outweighs your talent, dude, you're gone. And it far outweighs.
And New England wasn't on the hook for anything either.
Yeah, that's why. That's the only reason they brought you in, so that they could cut you.
Right.
That whole contract was yep, come on over here so we can cut you.
Yeah.
That's all that was. Come on, man. Come on, man.
Watch, and then Mac Jones will get him to the playoffs.
Look, Mac Jones looked good against nobody.
Right.
Vanilla bullshit. And they will do some stuff, and they will scheme around, and he will be fine. But they will get him on tape, and they'll figure him out,
Right.
and then there'll be a level. And he'll be what he's going to be. And you're not going to know what he's going to be till what year? Three.
Right.
We've had this conversation
I mean,
a million
yeah,
times on this
Because
show.
we see what he did last year, really last year and the bowl season the year before on there. But then again, is when he was at Bama, he had better receivers than he does.
Right, yeah. Well, yeah, and this is the whole thing. The NFL speed. Some guys you could tell right away. Don't get me wrong. Some guys will come in and you can tell right away that they got it the first year that they got it. But we always have to watch for the sophomore slump.
Sophomore slump, right?
And then it really isn't until year 3 that they truly start becoming whoever they're going to be. And so it's just it's kind of a wait and see kind of situation. But yeah, like you said, he had better options in college than he's got right now.
But New England's going to make it easy for them.
Yeah.
They're going to play a power run game, which again, they got Damian Harris is going to be the primary running back for them. They've got the kid from Oklahoma, another big power running. They're going to go back to the power running game. They're going to utilize the 2 tight end set with Jonnu Smith and Hunter Henry, and we'll see about the receivers. They still got a good offensive line. We'll see on that. But again,
Right.
and of course, they're in the AFC East, so other than Buffalo.
Yeah. Yeah. That's going to be their issue because Buffalo. It's not like you're going other than Buffalo, and like Buffalo's a joke because
Buffalo ain't no joke.
No, yeah, because
Buffalo's
the truth, man.
Yeah, wait
Yeah.
till that defense on it because Russo is a beast.
I think it'll be them and the Chiefs in the championship game again.
Oh yeah. I mean Gregory Russo and they got Carlos Baskin. They addressed again. They saw what Tampa Bay did. Get some guys on the defensive ends that can rush that passer.
Right.
Put pressure on it. Pressure. Because they've got a great secondary. They've got the best safety tandem in all of football. They've got some great receivers. They got a good quarterback on there they can run and throw at. Now we've seen what he made that progression-wise this last year was was always worried about can he be accurate on there. Now he's like 70% accuracy on there, and look what he does.
Right.
But then again, too, is he's got a bona fide number one receiver with Stephon Diggs, who said is plain and simple, Diggs needed to get out of Minnesota, and basically he says took a leadership role, basically absorbed, they became bros, man. I mean, they're like brothers. I mean, that's how much Diggs loves Allen, and I think vice versa on there. And then basically they've worked the chemistry wise. It's great, and you look at what they got now. If they can get a run game going now with the defense wise, they're gonna be good.
Yeah, no, they are going to be good. The only thing that they got to worry
The
about.
only problem is they're in the AFC and they got Kansas City.
In Kansas City, if they fix that offensive line issue they had, get out of the way.
They fixed that line, I think, pretty good.
I mean, from what I could tell, yeah, as long as they stay healthy, that offensive line is back where it needs to be, and that is a hard team to get by.
Yeah.
Like, as much as I'd like to put the Bills in the Super Bowl, if KC's offensive line,
and this might be who gets home field advantage, but it's going to be
sure. And who's healthy? We always know the war of attrition is the number one thing. I mean, I don't care how once you get to the playoffs, everybody's pretty close, and you have to have you got to stay healthy. Yeah,
I think especially with we look on here. I mean, the AFC East. We'll see about what Miami is because they're not sold on Tua for some reason, and they're trying to still make trades for Deshaun Watson. Dude's facing prison time possibly.
I know.
Here's what I'll give you: a bag of donuts. That's what I'll give you for Deshaun Watson. What, you went multiple first rounds? Kiss my ass.
Yeah, I'm with you. I don't know why you would want it. Like you said, what are you going to do with a guy that's in jail? You can't.
Right. Yeah, then you're basically you've destroyed your whole franchise for the next decade because you gave multiple first rounders for a cat that's going to prison.
And
Jets are going to be better this year too. I mean, plain simple as you've got we'll see on Salah, but I think this is again. They got a better head coach wise.
Right.
They seem the offensive line has gotten better. And again, I'm not blaming Darnold on the Jets' problem. It was Adam Gase 150%.
Yeah. Yep.
Dude, so you have to. So we'll see what that happens there. I like the moves they made. Corey Davis, we'll see what he does on there. But they got Elijah Moore. They got Michael Carter. I mean, that offense is going to be a lot better than it was in past years. And I think they've got legit. I mean, you got the kid from. Both got the Frisco and the offensive coordinator is LaFleur.
Oh, sure.
Little brother, who is now the offensive, who was the quarterback coach in Frisco, now is with them as the offensive coordinator. I mean, that's gonna be interesting to see. You got the AFC North, which is like, holy crap.
Yeah.
Cleveland. I think Cleveland's gonna win that division.
They could.
The kicker is, what did you hear out of Cleveland in the offseason?
Nothing.
No drama.
That's good.
That's what it is. It's like we got a taste of a little success here, and we're just going to basically they've got a great offensive line. They've got the best running back tandems in the NFL, and it's not even close.
Right.
They've got some good receivers, and we'll see what Baker doesn't have to put it all on Baker. Now he's got the running game. They got a defense wise. Now the defense is going to be better. The secondary is going to be really good, I think, this year.
I would fully expect a maturity change with him this year with Baker.
We saw it last year.
We started to see it last year,
I think this year he's going to be more mature.
Right.
Listen, I'm going to put it on me. I'm going to earn a damn a second contract.
Sure.
And we'll go from there.
I just feel like from a quarterback standpoint, he got in there and he was like, he was riding high, doing all the commercials, and I'm this and that, and then he's putting everything on him when he's out on the field, and it's really taken away from what the other guys could do out there to help. And
but I think it also goes too is you've got a legit head coach who basically takes it as a profession.
Well, that's the whole thing.
Stefanski, I liked Stefanski when he was offensive coordinator. I'm like, all right, that's a good. All right, we'll see what happens. And that's what it is. He just kind of took that as a profession. We're all professionals. We're going to act professionals, and we're going to instigate a game plan that's going to be a success. And that's what they've done on there. I like them winning the NFC North. I mean, the AFC North. Baltimore, I'm not sure about because, again, none of the receivers can stay healthy.
Yeah.
Now they've lost Dobbins for the year.
Right.
We'll see what Gus Edwards can do. They signed Le'Veon Bell to the practice squad. Oh, dude. Really?
I know.
Le'Veon Bell is toast.
Yep.
He's burnt toast.
So, Gurley is another one of those guys.
Yeah. Well, Gurley's got the knees of a 90-year-old.
Yeah, it's
Plus,
like
Bell's a head case.
right.
We don't. I know. So we'll see on that. I'm not buying into Baltimore. We'll see what Pittsburgh Wise is. They've got issues right now going on there. They're hemming and hawing about giving T.J. Watson a new contract, whatever. Big Ben says, pay the man his money.
All right.
Their offensive line is rebuilt. We'll see what that does too.
What's Ben care? He'll be gone in a year.
Yeah.
Fuck, do you even care?
Right.
Yeah, give him his money. I'm gone. I don't care.
We'll see what happens there. On it. I don't know what's happened to Pittsburgh, and then we'll see what Cincy was if Burrows can.
See, Pittsburgh's one of those teams that it's like they almost always get into the playoffs. So I just don't know what situation they don't get in. But I mean, they could be that team that kind of falls out.
They could be a 9-17 or 9-8 team and not make the playoffs.
Right.
They could be a 10-7 team and not make the playoffs.
That's my point.
That's how good the AFC is.
Right.
This year.
Right.
A 10-7 team may not make the playoffs.
Yep.
Whereas we'll get to the NFC here in a second here, because the NFC East, a 9-8 team might win that division. An 8-9 team might win that division.
Well, that's the whole thing. That's the
And then of course we got the AFC South, and it's Tennessee and everybody else.
Yeah.
I think Tennessee's going to win the division. They've made the team. The team's gotten better. They've gotten some defensive help on there. They've gotten a second receiver now with Julio is a definite upgrade over Corey Davis.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens there. And again, can Derrick Henry keep going along on there? Or is it finally, dude, he had in the last 3 years, 1,200 touches? That's got to catch up. But then again, his first 4 years, he didn't even have 1,200 touches. He didn't even have 800 touches.
All right. Well, yeah, it just depends on how they use him and if he can stay healthy. Like you said, he's a physical back, so it's easy to get caught by an ankle. Get an egg. So.
But then again, it's a defensive back, and if he's out, breaks past the front seven, and he's out there, then you think, I got to make a business decision here.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. That's the thing. That's what's gotten him by. I think at this point, some cats are just like, you know what, I'm getting out of the way.
Josh Roman wishes he got out of the way.
Yeah, right. They'll try. He gets flipped upside down every time he gets hit by that guy. He got 3 or 4 of those on him.
I'm not sure about Indy. Them losing the left tackle there for the season. We'll see about Carson Wentz on him. T.Y. Hilton. I'm not sure what to buy into that team. Great defense-wise. I like them. I'm not sure what to break into. I don't think they're making the playoffs. Jacksonville, new head coach. We'll see what Urban can do. New quarterback, new system. We'll see what happens there.
I wouldn't expect a whole lot out of there.
They'll probably be again a 7-8 win team, which will be a progression over last year because they were garbage.
If they get to 7 or 8 wins with a rookie head coach and a rookie quarterback, I'd be pretty satisfied with that. To me, that's a pretty decent step up from what they did last year with. A bunch of, like I said, a rookie head coach.
You don't have to worry about Gardner Minshew and his wonderful porn stash because he's now in Philly.
Yes, he is in Philly, and I know you need a viable backup, but how much does he cost you? He
cost you anything?
Then I don't see the big deal. Why wouldn't he's a great backup?
He's right now probably the third. He's got to be above Joe Flacco at this stage of Joe Flacco's life.
Oh, no doubt. I put him as he's kind of like, to me, he's kind of like was that Sean Hill, where he's
best backup in the league.
Yeah.
If you need him for a spot start, he can get you a spot start on there.
Right.
So on Houston, the Texans are by far the worst team in the NFL. It's not even close.
Oh my gosh, yes. That's our only consolation prize as a Lions fans, is that there's actually one team that's more of a shitstorm than ours.
Yes.
But wait, we'll see. As funny as we say this is, and yes, Houston will be a complete shit show. They will try to not do that for the cameras, as to where Detroit, this shit will be everywhere. Our coach will be saying all this dumb shit and acting like an idiot and melting down in front of the media and all this other shit for everybody to fucking see. As to where in Houston, you'll have to have an Adam Schechter fucking moment to find out what's going on. You know what I'm saying? So that's going to be the only difference between those two shit-run organizations.
We got that, and then we got the NFC West on there, and of course, Gruden says, well, he'll tell me when I had enough and I'll be that. I'm like, dude, he can't fire you because you're part owner and it costs me. You're guaranteed still what? This is what, 4th year? You're still guaranteed $60 million.
Yeah.
Dude, he can't fire you
Yeah,
because he can't afford to.
Yes. No, you are going to be there for at least 4 more full seasons.
Yes.
He might cut you out of the last 2 just because you're driving him shit crazy and gotten nowhere. But then at that point,
they deserve each other.
Yeah, I was gonna say at that point you're not really gone because you got ownership, right? So like, I don't even get that.
I don't understand
that. Well, we said it when it went down. That was the single dumbest head coaching contract I've ever fucking seen in my life.
He doesn't like Garrett. He doesn't like Carr. He doesn't like the running back. I mean, it's like what the hell?
He doesn't like anybody that sucks. Right? Like, so if they don't perform the way he thinks they should, then he doesn't like them.
Right.
You know what I mean? He loves all these guys that are great, but if they came over to his system and they did what he wanted them to do, they would suck like everybody else that is coached under him, and then he wouldn't like them either.
Right. I don't think Derek Carr is the whole problem. The problem is him reaching for guys that were probably a second rounder, and you have a top 5 pick, and
dude, you had Derek Carr, and you had a choice to make when you came in as head coach. Either make him your guy, because it wasn't any clear.
So he tries to bring Mariota in.
Right.
What
are you fucking smoking? So you had a decision to make. You had this guy as your quarterback with no viable, competitor for the position, and so you either are drafting somebody and putting some competition behind his ass, or you're trading his ass, or you're fucking starting him.
Right.
And those are your 3 options. You can't all of a sudden just start bringing in other guys and doing whatever. If you drafted somebody with the intention of moving him down the road,
and then the offseason is, they're going to try to trade for Khalil Mack. Dude, you had Khalil Mack and you gave away because you didn't think he was that good.
I know.
You had Amari Cooper and you let him go.
And he was the best at his position at the time that you let him go. Probably the best defensive player in the league at the time that you let him go. Right. But you didn't like. No, because he has personal issues with the Cats.
Yeah.
So then
Amari Cooper, let him go. Basically, trade, got rid of him too.
Right.
Now you go, he got no receiver. You had a receiver.
You had a receiver, but you didn't like that he had more than 2 baby mamas.
Right.
So you couldn't have him in the building. You're an asshole. You're putting your weird, twisted moral pattern onto other people.
Yeah. Well, guess what? They're going to finish last in the AFC West.
You have to make a business decision, like Cats getting out in front of Henry. And you made a bad one.
Right. We got him down there. We'll have to see what happens with the Chargers, the new head coach and everything. We'll see what happens. Again, we'll worry about the sophomore slump too, whether Herbert makes that progression-wise on there.
Right.
We'll see what happens there.
Which we think he can, but
I think he can. We'll see what the defense is. Now they've got everybody healthy there. We'll see what happens with the defense on there. Denver's going to be better. Why? Because they actually got a viable quarterback now. Teddy Two Gloves.
Yeah. Yeah. And you know what? And Cats is still like, I don't know who's going to be quarterback.
Teddy Two Gloves. I mean, the moment they traded for or signed Teddy Two, like quarterback.
Yeah.
Where's your starter?
Well, I agree, but everybody sleep on him, man.
I'm not.
People just think of him as like a game manager at best.
Yeah. Did you watch those 5 games when he was with New Orleans? Boy was slinging it out by game 3.
Yeah, I know, and most of these cats don't see that. It cracks me up.
Like,
all these talking heads will tell you that he doesn't have the long ball and that he's, he's a manager at best, and that he's not even a viable, he's a backup at best, and it's like I'm sorry, but he's better than Fitzpatrick, and you're using that guy as a starter,
right?
And he's a perpetual backup. And Teddy Two Gloves is way better than he is.
Yeah, they got a good run.
And he doesn't throw a lot of interceptions.
No, he's a smart kid on there to fight. He's got a better arm than you give him credit for.
Well,
and they got a good running game on there. They've got Javonte Williams from North Carolina, the rookie. You've got Melvin Gordon. You've got Noah Fant as your tight end. You've got Cortland Sutton who's coming off the knee injury, and you got Jerry Jeudy will explode this year.
Right.
Because the guy just flat out runs beautiful routes, and he can catch the ball, and he has separation speed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, So they may win. They may finish second in that division on there. They may battle out. Them and the Chargers may battle out for a wild card because there's 3 wild cards on there.
Yeah, yeah,
And of
right.
course we got the Chiefs. We already said the Chiefs.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, they showed up that offensive line. If they stay healthy, the Chiefs are going to be some bad mofos. Well, that's what's so crazy. It's the same thing with the Bucks, right? They brought everybody back. They shored everything up. As long as they stay healthy,
yeah.
I mean, they're going to do. They're going to be even better than last year.
Yes, because they know the system.
Yeah, they've had time to play together.
And there's no doubt on who's the alpha dog in the huddle.
No, well,
there is one.
Yeah,
and that's it. And it basically is like you're not going to question them.
And yeah.
On there, so we got that. I mean, we go into the NFC on there, the East, which is hot garbage. Everybody keeps saying, "Oh, the Cowboys come out." Dude, I don't see the Cowboys winning the division. I mean, it's gonna be the Washington football team again.
Yes. Yep.
They have the best defense in the division, and it's not even close. They've got a superstar defensive end. Chase Young is a beast.
Absolutely.
And you got a legitimate, a viable, at least a short-term quarterback because he's an upgrade from everybody last year.
Yep.
You got some nice receivers. You've got a good running game. You've got a great offensive line.
Well, you got a coach that's got a set of balls, and the players love that.
Right.
And I just think he's going to come out there and he's going to do what he does, and he's going to steal a couple of games that he wasn't supposed to. And that's just that. In my opinion, if your head coach is the over/under on a couple of games, you know what I'm saying? Like that's pretty good.
Yeah,
I feel like he is. If you lose him, you're a couple of games less without that. I mean, he's gonna steal a couple of games.
Yeah.
And so, yeah.
I mean, look what they did. They gave Tampa a battle in the playoffs. I mean, Tampa had to win that game. Maybe basically it was a tight one under. Riverboat Ron is a damn good coach. Jack Del is a really good defensive coordinator. He's a terrible head coach, but he's a really good defensive coordinator.
Right. Yep.
Right there. Dallas is going to be. We'll see. I mean, their defense is terrible. Zach Martin's already out for
their
game
offensive
one.
line is all.
Oh, their offensive line is piecemeal together. It's old and everything with it. They got 3 great receivers and a good quarterback. Well, we don't know about Dak Prescott because he's got that shoulder issue, and we don't even know what's going to go on long term with that.
Well, they're hiding it too.
Yeah,
they're like not telling you. So yeah, he's got a shoulder issue.
That's why when I did my fantasy draft, I stayed away from Dak Prescott.
Oh, I got news for you. I wouldn't consider Dak Prescott a viable option going forward in fantasy. Period.
I think that shoulder's shot.
I think Dak is overrated. I think he's already injured and having problems. And I think that Dallas is getting further and further away, not getting closer.
Yeah.
And so I put all that together, and I just don't see him being a viable fantasy option whatsoever unless you have an injury or a bye week and you're desperate and you got a matchup. I just don't see it. And then I don't see how it gets better next year or the year after that because they don't have any room to do anything.
No, because they paid him that boatload of money. I would have paid him down there. I would have basically down there. But he's down there. You've got 3 superstars. You've got 3 studs at receiver, and you can't throw them the ball.
Yep.
And they're off the defense other than Micah Parsons.
Dude, they already remember we were talking about they had the best offensive line in football?
Yes.
And those guys grew old, broke down, and are gone, and you didn't get anything done with them.
Quick.
Yeah, and you didn't get anything done with them either.
No, you didn't win. You won 1 playoff game.
Right. I mean, so like, what's going to change?
Yes.
I mean, guys, you're falling into that SOL thing that we have here in Detroit. You know, it's the same old Cowboys. You guys just. The best you can do is get close to a playoff. That's the best you could do. Like, it's just the way it's run. Jerry doesn't know jack shit about football in comparison to, what he thinks he does and the people that he should be putting in place do. So I don't get it, man. I don't get it.
I think the Cowboys are going to finish 3rd in the division. I think Philly's going to finish second-wise on there. We'll see on that. And again, we'll see what Jalen Hurts gets. The problem is Philly is they really don't have any receivers.
Yeah, they don't have receivers, and then you really just kind of it's a circus over there still.
Yes.
I mean, like I mean, it's not as bad as Dallas or here.
But it's still
I
a
mean,
circus.
Houston or here or Dallas. Yeah, but it's still a circus over there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
You have no secondary other than Darius.
right, which
You got a
that's
good
not going to
front
hold.
seven.
He's
You
not
got
going
a-
to hold up this year.
You got
like
a good
that.
front four on
Sure.
there. I mean, but again, they can only get so much pressure.
Right.
Offensive line, we'll see what happens there. But they have no Devontae Smith on there, all 140
Well, you're
pounds.
going to be relying on Jalen Hurst to fucking make plays, right? He's going to have to extend plays at some point in time, and that's hard on a young guy. I mean, it's hard on a second-year quarterback.
On it.
And
Plus, you got a
so-
new coaching regime in there as
Yeah,
well. So
yep.
we'll see what happens there. And of course, then you got the Giants, which are garbage. Offensive
Yes.
wise. Defense, I think, a little bit underrated on there, but offensive wise, they're garbage. I mean, Barkley's still hurt, banged up. Your big free agent time was Galladay.
Yeah.
Guy's always hurt.
Yep.
Always hurt.
Yeah, we had him here.
Yeah, trust us. We know.
Yep.
Yeah, when he's healthy, he's great.
Yeah.
His
Oh, yeah.
problem is he's never healthy.
Well, you know what? He's got an attitude issue.
Yes.
And it's like that kind of bummed me out because I was hoping that wouldn't be the case.
And you
We
make
got so used to Calvin, right?
Yeah.
Calvin was just so awesome.
And they
So
had
we got
top
spoiled.
7 pick last year, and they took the worst damn offensive line of the guys taking the offensive line. You got beat up by the Jets with Micaiah Becton.
Yeah. Yeah,
On
the
it.
Jets is another dumpster fire too.
I
I mean,
think the Jets are going to be better on there. I think we'll see what happens. But I do like Robert Saleh on there. But yeah,
well, I do. I think that he's got potential to do something over there. I just don't see it happening this year.
No.
So.
Oh god, no on it. And then we got the AFC North, the NFC North again. It's Green Bay still to win or lose.
Yep.
I think Minnesota could be either really good or this team could implode.
Well, that's one of those things.
It's gonna be either.
They're
There's not gonna be no middle ground. It's gonna be on it because Kirk
Right.
Cousins is a meathead
Yeah.
on there, and he's not gonna get the vaccine. He thinks, all right, I'll just sit in a
And a-
plexiglass box.
Yeah, well, this is the deal. That's going to be the downfall because he is going to splinter and fracture that locker room, and they're going to have issues. So Minnesota's out. So Detroit will be last because it'll be a clown show here
Right.
with our
Oh,
co-
we're terrible.
with our
we don't have any,
with our
right.
we don't have any talent, and then our coach is a shithead. Like this guy sucks. Just wait until he starts talking. You guys ain't seen nothing. Bam, 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 that's what we're going to be playing every damn week once this guy starts getting into press conferences. As a matter of fact, I'm going to start recording all the post games with that jackass because I know he's going to say the dumbest shit you've ever heard, and it's going to be like our soundbite of the fucking week, almost every week. So I just know it, but I mean, it's not good. It's not going to be a whole lot better. So. Minnesota will be 3, and then Chicago will be 2. But Chicago, if they could ever get their quarterback situation figured out,
Well, I know why you're starting Dalton this week
right,
because they're facing the Rams,
right,
and they don't want Justin Field to get killed by Aaron Donald on week 1.
makes sense.
Let Dalton get killed on week 1. Who cares? He's not going to be starting week 3 anyway.
Yeah. I mean, I get that logic, and you're probably right in that assessment as far as like there's no need to rush this guy out here. Sure as shit, not against this defense in week 1. So I get that kind of thought process, but I mean, once again, Chicago can figure out their quarterback.
Never had a 4,000-yard passer
Right.
ever.
Their
Their leading single-season
like
passer
3,800 yards or something.
by who?
I can't even remember. Kramer, that's right.
Yeah, the Lions' former quarterback.
Right.
Who should basically they should have taken Andre Ware, they should have given it to Kramer with Rodney P.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, that whole thing.
Use that as a defensive end, pick a defensive end or offensive lineman. So we got that. And then we got the South, Tampa. It's Tampa.
Yeah.
I think Carolina's gonna be, better. I think we'll see what happens if McCaffrey can stay healthy on there, wise on there. I think the receiving core they've got are kind of a little bit underrated, wise on there. I do like Terrence Marshall, the kid they drafted from LSU, is a beast. DJ, I like him. We'll see what the defense wise. We'll keep an eye on that. But I think Sam Darnold's you're gonna see Sam Darnold make a little bounce back.
I would like to think so. I think the biggest issue with that team is there's no depth.
No.
So like anybody gets
hurt, they're screwed.
They're kind of screwed. So I'd like to see, and then they're really not high level. Like nobody jumps off the board. Like you said, everybody's kind of a little underrated maybe, and this and that. But there's nobody.
Other than McCaffrey,
and McCaffrey is going to, because he is going to dominate every column in the scoreboard, because he's going to do everything.
Right.
He's going to catch. He's going to run. He's going to. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if the dude starts chucking him.
Right. Well, again, somebody showed a video clip on there. Is Walter Payton threw for 2 touchdown passes against the who was it down there? The Saints. Why? Because it's tough.
Yes. So like, it's one of those things where like if he can stay healthy, he's going to be the dynamic piece that makes everything kind of work over there. And so, yeah, like you said, I could see why you'd like them. If I'm a fan base, they're going to be fun to watch. It's just a matter of, like you said, anybody gets injured, there's just not a lot of room for error in anything
that they do. I like the coach they got there, too. He came from Baylor last year. I think they're going to be on. I think they're on the right stepping stones on there. They'll go from there. They got to get some depth. That's what it is. They need a better offensive line. They need some help on the defense a little bit on there, but they just need more depth on there. And this is going to happen over time and effort. Atlanta, who knows with Atlanta? I think they're going to be dumpster fires.
A lot of talking heads think they're going to get better, but I just don't know how you get better with an aging quarterback that hasn't improved his skill set in the last 3 years.
I know. Yes, you took a tight end with the 3rd pick overall.
Well, that's I don't know. I never want a tight end inside the top 10. I just don't do it. But I see why that would be a position of need for an aging quarterback.
Right. You
know what I'm saying? But like, you don't go 3 overall.
No.
You pick somebody in free agency, or you make a trade, or you find somebody on the waiver. Like you don't, and you get a tight end. Like, but you don't need to.
Tight end at the 3rd pick and then the defense is garbage. They have no running game whatsoever.
Right.
Now you're down to Gates, and you've got Calvin Ridley now, who's going to jump into the number 1 receiver spot there. But I don't like it. And then we got New Orleans is going to be interesting to see on it with them. I mean, everybody's healthy for the most part. The defense is really good. They got on it with it. Great offensive line. They've got basically Chris McCaffrey 2.0 with Alvin Kamara. And then they just let go Latavius Murray because he didn't want to take a pay cut. They said, bye. They got a kid down there that's supposed to be going to be taking over as the number 2 anyways. What will happen there? Michael Thomas is hurt. We'll see if they can just weather under. We'll see what Jameis is. Can Jameis make that improvement from what he was last year under with Sean Payton?
No, he can't, because he still throws into double coverage. Right. Did you watch the preseason?
Yeah.
Everybody's like, "Oh, look at him! He shot it downfield." Yeah, in a double coverage every fucking time, and guys had to pull shit out of their ass to make the catches. Get the fuck out of here!
He'll still throw for 30 touchdowns
and 28 interceptions.
Yeah, well, he won't throw for 30. He'll do 28. Yeah, and he can throw for top 5,000 yards. But yeah, I'm not sure what the.
It's Jameis Winston.
If Jameis can keep the interceptions under 20, then they can almost win that division.
Jameis Winston doesn't understand progressions or defensive coverages. He doesn't understand if they disguise it at all. He does not know what to do, and he does not get past his first progression. He goes to progression 1. If it is broke down, before he even turns his head to progression 2, he's already out of position trying to run. You have to go to 1, you have to go to 2, and then if 3 requires you to extend the play, then you do that. But he's already starting to extend the play from read 1 before he's made read 2. And then he throws into double coverage, and he did it all preseason. It's no different than any other time in his career.
This is the problem. I'm going to blame Sean Payton wholly on this because they had the heir apparent to Drew Brees. He's now in Denver. They should have just kept Teddy Two Gloves there and said, listen, dude, Brees is going to play 1 more year, and then the keys are yours.
I would go Teddy Two Gloves if you're. I agree, because you're going to use Hill as a gadget guy anyway.
Right.
then
First of all, why are you paying a gadget guy $16 million a year?
that's where you're screwed up.
You get $3 million.
That's where you messed up.
Good luck if you don't want to like it. Good luck finding another job.
Well, he shouldn't have drafted that dude.
No.
Yeah, you know what I mean. And then you gave him that kind of money when he didn't do anything.
No. I'm with you.
And so it's like whatever. And I'm not sure what happened there. And yeah, like I said, I like Jameis Winston, his ability to sling it. Right. Like it can be super entertaining, but he can't read all those things. None of those things have changed. He can't read defensive coverages if there's any kind of disguise whatsoever. He throws into double coverage. Even when he goes through his progressions, if he happens to get to his second progression, he just throws into a lot of double coverages. He's got the arm strength to kind of get him out of some of his own jams, and I enjoy that about his play. But, like, there's just not nearly enough of that to outweigh all the interceptions. And then, guys, did y'all forget he's just a douchebag of a human being?
Yes.
Did y'all forget what happened at Florida State? Like, did you forget, like, how he's acted since he's been in the league behind the scenes? Like, did we forget all of that shit?
Yes.
Because, like, to me, that's part of it, too.
Oh, yeah. It's totally a part of it. Because I haven't forgotten. With it on it.
It's just one of those things, right? Like, you're an ass, and you throw as many interceptions as you do touchdowns. Like, why am I excited about this?
No.
Like, okay, that's cool till we find somebody, but you had a chance to find somebody while you had one of the most accurate quarterbacks in the history of the game in the fucking room, and you didn't. You brought in a gadget guy, and you gave too much money to that guy and other assholes.
And you got the guy who should have got the keys on here, who came in there gone, and he looked.
Well, even if you don't believe in him in the future, he's still
a stopgap.
He's still a better stopgap than Jameis.
Oh yes,
and he's still a better option than the gadget guy that you drafted and paid too much money to before he even earned it.
Right.
So like, so I'm done with the Sean Payton's a genius. I'm done with all that stuff.
Yeah, Sean Payton's such a genius, then why has he only got one Super Bowl?
Right. My whole thing is, does he elevate the play of some of his guys with his coaching? Sure.
Regular season.
Sure. But I mean, beyond that, like, I just don't get some of the decisions he makes.
Right.
When it comes to player personnel. And he did not prepare himself for life after Drew Brees when he stayed longer than he probably should have.
Right.
So that you guys would be ready. He should have been got a couple of years ago.
No. Well, yeah. The moment he got hurt when they brought in Teddy Two Gloves in there for 5 games and he came back, I'm like, dude, what the hell are you doing?
Right.
Guy's got 11 broken ribs.
Right.
And you let him come back. Why?
Right. Because you didn't, and then you didn't even say, oh shit, let's pull the trigger now. Right. And you get Gadget Boy.
Right.
I don't even know what to say, dude.
And again, we got, as we said, Tampa, the whole gang's back together.
Yeah.
They're all like, we're going to win it again.
Oh, yeah.
They're all out of Michigan.
Well, and where's New Orleans playing? Home games.
Well, the first game's in Jacksonville.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, they're not going to be at home.
They don't have a home game until like mid-October.
Right. And then they're not going to be playing them there. They're not going to be doing anything in that town for a minute.
That town, man, I feel bad for the people there because they got. I mean,
I do to an extent. You know where you live.
Yeah, move.
Yeah, get the fuck out of here. You live in a giant bowl in the middle of hurricane town.
Yeah, right.
Like I don't know what to say. You live 30 miles below sea level in the middle of hurricane town.
Yeah,
move.
Well, some of these people don't have any money on it, but
that's because they stayed multiple times. How many times can you rebuild?
I would basically, after like whatever the hurricane, they're like 69, we're out of here. So
yeah. Oh yeah.
And again, what are the odds? I would say over 100% on there is because Katrina hits, and then all of a sudden 16 years to the day.
Yeah.
Here comes the next one. Bam.
Yeah. Yeah. It's gonna happen every 15 to 20 years. You're gonna get hit like that.
Well, yeah, I think it's going to expand even more, but we won't get into that.
Yeah, well, you don't know weather patterns, obviously, but I mean, just based on the current data that we have, that's about how it works.
Yeah. Unfortunately, that storm went from 1 to 4 in a blink of an eye.
Well, so did Katrina or whatever.
Yeah. Katrina was on it, but yeah, I mean, this item was like, oh, it's going to be a 1, we'll be okay. All of a sudden, boom, 4. Holy shit. So, we got that. And then we got the NFC West. Possibly one of the best divisions in the all football. going to be the most competitive.
Yeah, I'd say the most competitive. Yeah.
I mean, you can make a case for all 4 teams could win that division.
Yeah. I mean, with the extra wild card, you can. You
may get 2 wild cards out of that same.
Yeah.
You may have 3 out of your 4
You
teams
could.
make the playoffs.
You could.
I mean, we'll see
Theoretically.
what happens with on there. They got a new offensive coordinator with Seattle, so it's going to be a short. They're going to let Russ be Russ finally. Short. I mean, they're going to make quicker passes on there. Lockett's could probably be really good on it because it's perfect. You get the position, boom, 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 after catch. Metcalf will still basically outrun everybody.
All right.
Cards on there. They still don't have an offensive line. I'm still not buying the defense.
Nope.
So on there, I think they could. That team. I mean, people are like, oh, they go in the division. Yeah, they can also finish 3rd or 4th. I mean, again, they can finish 4th at 8, 9.
Yeah.
I mean, Frisco's got everybody healthy back. Great play, probably the best play caller in all football. But again, new defensive coordinator. Everybody's healthy back on defense.
Sure.
Great offensive line. Great running game. I mean, again, it's not good for the fantasy because they do running back by committee. And one of the 80,000 running backs that they have could all break off for 150 yards every game. Still don't know about. I mean, we'll see about Trey Lance on there. But we'll see with Garoppolo if he can stay healthy. We'll see how far that goes on there with it. On there, and then you got Arizona. We'll see what happens in year 3 with Kingsbury and Kyler Murray. I think they're going to be a little better this year. On there, I think in offensive wise on there. People are like, well, what do you think of AJ Green? Oh, he's 150 years old. That's what I think of AJ Green. But you got Rondale Moore. You got Christian Kirk. You still got DeAndre Hopkins. Who knows if they're making a run there? Call up Larry Fitzgerald and he'll come back. Can't run far down the field, but if the hands touch the ball, he's catching it.
Yep.
I think Chase Edmonds is going to be an upgrade on there as full-time running back on there, so we'll see what happens on them. And again, we got the Rams. They're banking it all on Stafford.
Yep.
We'll see again. Is it really again? Is it Stafford or was it the team that he was with?
To me, Stafford's going to improve that team significantly.
Oh, that team will be way better under.
And is
Connor Kupp and Robert Woods will have monster years. Tyler Egbee will be a top 10 tight end.
All right.
Again, the offensive line, can they stay healthy? But Stafford is a huge upgrade over Goff, and that defense is scary because they've got great secondary, good linebackers, and you've got the baddest man on the planet anchoring that off the defensive line, and Aaron Donald. Play him inside, outside, doesn't matter. Double team, it doesn't matter.
Nope.
He'll just throw both of those guys around. It gets to the quarterback or the running back. Kicker is what the running game's going to be like.
Yeah, we'll see. All right, well, there's the breakdown of the NFL going in here. We got a Moose's fantasy moment. We'll touch a little bit of NCAA football, whatever you guys want to get into. And then, of course, we've got pick'ems, but it's all about the break time. We got to get a little bit of break. We got to take care of some beverages and bathroom time and all that stuff. Yes. Whatever, you know. So we're going to get out of here for a hot minute, and we'll be right back. On the other side, we got pick'ems, fantasy moment, a little bit of college football, and whatever you throw our way. Text lines are open.
Yeah, DSR2's Studio 50 Radio.
You're listening to Studio 57 Radio, your home for underground hip-hop, rap, and R&B. Studio 57 Radio.
Party people, this is the original Doc Ice, and you are definitely listening to Studio 57 Radio. And if Studio 57 Radio isn't on, then your radio ain't really on. Check that.
You're listening to Studio 57 Radio, your home for underground hip-hop, rap, and R&B. Studio 57 Radio.
Hey everybody, Strappin here to tell you about That Radio Show. Hang with me as I break down the world of entertainment with great guests, celebrity interviews, awesome games with wonderful prizes. Also, we've got the biggest library of underground hip-hop of any station on the net. You mix in a little stand-up comedy and a text line so your voice can be heard, and you got a pretty good little show. But add listener-controlled programming? Yeah, you heard me. Listener-controlled programming, where you, the listener, can decide what makes it on the air, and now you've got the greatest show ever created. So join my show, your show, our show, the people's show, That Radio Show, each and every Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, only here on Studio 57. Radio.
Hey everybody, this is your boy Big D, here to tell you about Mark for Life Tattoos. Guys, this place is the cleanest, most laid-back studio in Metro Detroit, and the artists are top-notch. And if you're like me from the D, you need to stop in on Fridays for that D-Day and get your Old English D for only $20. Not interested in tattoos? Mark for Life does body piercings. Mark for Life is located at 22533 Van Dyke in Warren, and the guys are there 7 days a week from noon to 9. So give them a call at 757-2222. That's 586-757-2222. Tell them Studio 57 sent you and get 20% off. So what are you waiting for? Call them now.
Hey everybody, Smokey here to tell you about Allstate. Winter fast approaching, the most important thing between you and the road is your tires. So don't put your safety in just anybody's hands. Go to Allstate Tire. With new and quality used tires available, you can trust Allstate Tire for all your tire needs. You can visit them at 14208 9 Mile Road in Warren, or give them a call at 586-779-8759. Allstate Tire, your source for quality new and used tires.
What's happening, everybody? Scrappy here to tell you about Love and Life Club. Love and Life Club is a social networking club that's located at 19960 James Cousins. That's a large service drive between 7 and 8 Mile Road in the D. You need to stop in for $5 Fridays for great music, food, and drinks. I personally recommend the chicken. Love and Life Club is also available for rental for bachelor parties, wedding receptions, or any party for that matter. For more information, log on to www.loveandlifeclub.com. That's loveandlifeclub.com, or call D at 313-999-2824. That's 313-999-2824. That's Love and Life Club. If you love and life, you need to be in the club.
Taking over the broadcast for the ultimate underground.
You know, when you hear that sound, you're gonna have a good time, because that's the sound of the ultimate underground live concert webcast from the Detroit area. We go to the most famous, or should I say infamous, venues in the D and bring the underground music scene from the streets to your computer like nobody else can. There's only one catch. You never know when and where the ultimate underground is going to take over a broadcast. So you need to stay tuned to Studio 57 Radio all day, every day, for clues on when and where the next ultimate underground may happen. Now, there's no other station on the net that's going to give you this live webcast of some of the hottest artists in the D. That's the ultimate underground live on your home for hip hop, rock and metal, Studio 57 Radio, baby.
Goodbye.
Get what you want, cause we got what you need. Studio 57 serving streets of the D. Recording the Studio 57 is a 32-track digital recording studio that utilizes Cool Edit, Logic Pro, Shure, AKG, Sennheiser, Yamaha, Korg, Mac, Boss, Ibanez, Fender, Fruity Loops, and many, many more to make your music pop. Experienced and friendly engineers make Studio 57 feel like you're home away from home. With beat creation, mixing, mastering, digital media conversion, and DJs for any event, Studio 57 Records is your one-stop shop for all your music entertainment needs. We have online bill pay and flexible payment schedules that make Studio 57 the place to be. For more information, visit Studio57records.com. That's www.studio57records.com or call us at 586-420-3390. That's 586-420-3390 or log on to Studio57records.com. And just remember one thing, baby. We get what you want because we got what you need. Studio 57 serving streets of the D. Recording, mixing, mastering, or great beats. We do what we do to keep you hot on the streets. We get what you want because we got what you need. Studio 57 serving streets of the D. Recording, mixing, mastering, or great beats. We do what we do to keep you hot on the streets.
Party people, this is the original Doc Ice, and you are definitely listening to Studio 57 Radio. And if Studio 57 Radio isn't on, then your radio ain't really on. Check that.
You're listening to Studio 57 Radio, the home for underground hip-hop, rap, and R&B. Studio 57 Radio.
All right, Rebels, we are getting into these things. Ah, yes, a little NFL insight there in the first hour, having a little bit of fun with it. Terry, Jay, Mike, Liz, Dan, and everybody else, feel free to get in on any of the conversation. We're going to do some pick'ems. We're going to have some fun there. We got plenty to get into here, but it's going to be a little bit of a lightning round as we ran over in the first part. But so what? Y'all don't mind if it's fast and the furious, huh? So we're just going to get right into it. So thank you once again, everybody, for checking us out. Facebook, YouTube, TuneIn, Stitcher, Spreaker, all that fun stuff. SoundCloud, Studio57Radio.com. Check out JWBelts.com and the JWBelts YouTube channel when you get a chance. And let's get back into this thing. So without further ado, let's do what we do at DSR2. This is Hour 2, and I am Scrappy, and here is your host, Johnny the Moose.
Hey, we are back here for the second hour of DSR2. In case you missed it, we talked pretty much all NFL action in the first hour, basically kind of broke down what we think, how the division's going to go and everything with it. And again, towards the end of the show, we'll get our predictions for Super Bowl on there. See if Scrappy Dallas can hit it on the head again.
I have not done that since the Harbaugh Bowl. I've been riding that wave for how many years now?
Going on a decade?
Yes. Yes. I'm kind of like... I'm kind of like CM Punk. He's made 7 years of his career off of one promo, basically. Yeah. And yeah, that's basically what I am doing here. But when you go and you do the preseason pick, and you're that close, you earn a Scrappy Damas. That's where it came from. And I have basically shit the bed on every Super Bowl prediction since then. Not really that bad, but...
No, we got the New England one. We were the only ones that were rooting for New England against Atlanta.
Yeah, we're the only ones that got that right. We were the only ones in the room, too.
Yes.
Because everybody else was, like, fed up with the New England thing, and Atlanta was up, and they were all fat and sassy, and me and Moose just kept looking at each other smirking as they slowly ticked back. I'm like, oh, Moose. And then at the end of the day, we were the ones pretty rowdy. So that was a fun Super Bowl, actually.
Yes.
You know,
at the end of the day, who was happy? Who was cheering the loudest?
These two guys. And there was probably a good 6 or 8 of us all in on that conversation.
Yes. There was a good 8 of us.
So that was pretty funny. But we will try to replicate some of those feats here, not only this week but each week with the NFL. So we'll see what we can do. Anyway,
but we got on there, so still lots here to go.
So, Clemson fans, please don't run into traffic. please don't like kill yourselves or do anything crazy or rash. Don't start burning your gear. None of that stuff. But where in their schedule do they get to fight themselves back into this college playoff? Moose, we got to get into a little bit of college football, guys.
Oh yeah, I was basically about to say.
And I'm gonna say, like, I don't. Clemson has been a contender for quite a while.
Yeah,
you know, year in and year out. They've won a couple national championships, like just recent. They're in this playoffs almost all the time. So, a one loss this early in the season usually wouldn't spell the end. We don't usually have a classic week one overreaction to NCAA football, but does this qualify even as an overreaction? Because as I look at Clemson's schedule, I don't know that they're going to play another ranked team all year. How do you get to a playoff if you did not beat a ranked team all year?
No, I mean, I don't know, because you look at the whole ACC in general, they're hot garbage.
You know what I'm saying?
That whole conference. I mean, Notre Dame won on there because they're, ACC, but not really ACC. But yeah, everybody in that whole conference. I mean, Florida State crapped the bed. Miami got their ass handed to them again. Don't give me this, look at them, better worry about the U. Yeah, right. Again, when's Bama going to not win everything? When's Bama not going to be great? When Saban hangs it up.
Right.
And even then, I don't know. We'll see who takes it over.
Right. Yeah, depending on who takes it over, sure.
But yeah, I mean, the ACC's garbage. Yeah. I mean, you look at it now. You don't have Trevor Lawrence, man. You don't have Deshaun Watson. Who do you got out there? Yeah, your team is just not that good. Your defense was okay,
right?
But dude, your offense was putrid.
I don't know what they're gonna do, and even if what are they gonna? They'd have to blow out every team by 30 points.
I don't see it happening
to get even considered, right?
Yes. And even then, it may not they may not get it.
I mean, so like,
you look at that one on there, and then, you look at. I mean, it was.
It's one of those things where, like, I hate. Okay, we have no expectations for U of M here, right?
No.
Because they're not ranked, they're not going to win that many games. They're going to win 7 games, maybe, whatever, and they're going to lose to Ohio State, and but like, you're supposed to win these early games, right? You're supposed to get a tune-up before you get in there and you start playing, whether it's a tougher part of your schedule or your conference games or whatever the case may be, and so you can't come out in week 1 trying to be a legitimate contender and then lose to the only ranked team that you play. And what were they ranked? Like
3 and 5.
Right.
It was supposed to be the best matchup on there. And you go, ugh.
Right.
I mean, you look at that on there. Wisconsin, too. Again, that Wisconsin Penn State, it was like, oh my God, it was 0-0 at halftime.
Oh, yeah.
And they put up 26 points in the second half. I don't even know how good Wisconsin is, because I don't even know how good their quarterback got these endorsement deals. But, dude, we don't even know if he can play. I'm not buying Penn State either, because I don't think James Franklin's that good of a coach on there. Great recruiter, but he's a meathead on there. I'm not buying Penn State either.
Well, this is my take on it. They shouldn't have even played last year. We talked about this. They shouldn't have even had a season last year because of these kids. They should have just given them the eligibility, extended it, blah, 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 and then got it kind of right, and then started playing. So I just think there's so much chaos in college football right now. They didn't play a full year. Everything was a debacle last season. Then you're trying to get things together this season, but now you have the portal where these cats can move around.
Right.
You got the name and likeness thing going on, name, image, and likeness thing going on all at the same time while these cats are moving around and recruits. Dude, it's a mess right now.
Oh, it is.
I mean, the NCAA is an absolute mess. You know what the NCAA is? It's your 5-year-old's bedroom when you slept in too late and your kid destroyed it.
Yes.
There's just shit everywhere. It's just a hodgepodge of crap all over the place. It used to be organized. It used to have some kind of sense to it, even though there's a lot of stuff going on. But no, now it's just pure effing chaos. And if this is what they were talking about, changing the college landscape with all this other stuff, then yeah, they're absolutely right. The NCAA is such a damn shit show that if you add things and put things in place that should have already effing been there, they can't even handle it. They can't handle it. And so the universities aren't prepared to handle it, even though they're paying these people that run these departments and these colleges and these divisions millions of dollars, and they all have their heads up their asses. I don't get any of it. It is one of those organizations where it makes no effing sense to me. It just doesn't. No. It never has. I don't know, whatever. The hypocrisy in it, we got into it before. I just think the NCAA is as corrupt as the Olympic Committee.
It really is on there. But yeah, we had on there. I mean, believe it or not, the game of the day really was Oklahoma versus Tulane. Oklahoma basically survives and pulls out a 5-point win against Tulane. Tulane's those new uniforms were just awesome. I mean, I don't know what was better, them or the Ole Miss powder blues on there that they had, the throwbacks.
I really like them. I'm always in on the powder blue.
Yes,
it's the same thing with the Chargers.
The Chargers, the powder blue, the Chargers, baby, with the white helmet on there. Bam.
I'm all
the lightning
in,
bolt with the numbers. Love it.
When I bought my Trans Am, it was baby blue. I'm like, I'm all about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's really hard for me to turn down that powder blue. There's very few jerseys that don't look good in that color for some reason to me. It just comes out great.
Those jerseys were awesome. Yeah. With that, and again, LSU basically getting beat up by UCLA. Of course, Ed Orgeron goes, "Oh, those sissy blue jerseys." Yeah. Oops.
You are asking for it. Why did if you are above the age of 16?
Don't open your mouth.
You should know better than to give people bulletin board material.
And we always keep saying, "Oh, LSU on there." Well, really, how good? I mean, again, other than they having JoJo for those 2 years, I mean, LSU is LSU. They're not down there.
I mean,
they pop up once a decade. Oh, here we are. Yep. We're good.
Yeah, we got. Yeah, we have some seniors. We got a couple of good.
We got a kid
recruits.
that transferred from Ohio State down LSU.
Yeah, right. I mean, that's what happens.
They got lucky.
Yeah, they get a group where they have like the right amount of seniors with a couple of high recruits, maybe a transfer, and then all of a sudden now that's what they've always kind of been, where they just kind of hover around, and then every once in a while they just kind of, oh, look what we left into, or they just get that little bit of lightning in a bottle, so to speak. It's whatever.
I mean, Nebraska bounced back. They beat up Fordham. I think Fordham's like a Division II school.
Yeah, well, okay. Well, like I said, man, it's just gonna be a screwy year for everybody.
Well, yeah,
it's just really gonna be hard until you get into a few weeks in, and you only have so many games, so you can't. It's not like the NFL where like you've got as long as you got righted the ship by like week 4, you can salvage the season, but it's not like that in college. So, you know.
Yeah, everybody's talking about on it. And then we got Washington losing to Montana. Why did Washington even schedule Montana? That's like when Michigan scheduled Appalachian State. Why would we even schedule that team?
Well, you know,
if you're going to play Division II team, play some team that you can blow out 150 to nothing.
Well, they probably thought they could.
Not if you followed football, because Appalachian State was in the Division II championship the year before. What the fuck are you thinking? That's only a lose-lose scenario.
Yeah, because you have to win, and if you don't
win by 70, then everybody's on there. Then if you lose, you're gonna have to wear that stigma on you for the rest of your life.
Yep.
On there, them losing on that. Northwestern, we knew this again. Everybody left. They lost their running back. The second running back took the portal out. And they're garbage. They got their ass handed by State. State's got a lot of, again, JUCO kids and transfers and everything with it. He's got like literally 20 transfers that are starting on his team and that. But again, I think Mel Tucker's a pretty damn good coach.
Any of those from Bishop, whatever?
No, Bishop Sycamore?
Yeah, Bishop
No,
Sycamore. You said JUCO.
But again, they're supposed to be a high school, but again, even they came out today.
Oh, dude.
We're not we're not a school.
Dude, hold on. I got one for you. I'm watching Sports Center this morning, and they're running through like plays or whatever highlights. I think it was baseball, and one of the guys rips off a bunch of stats, and he goes, "Our research is better than yours." That was his line after he ripped off all these stats. He goes, "Because our research is better than yours." And I'm like, well, how the fuck did Bishop fucking Sycamore get on your fucking goddamn programming?
Right.
If your research is so goddamn good, how the fuck did that shit end up on a guy? Shut the fuck up. Shut up. Shut up. ESPN, shut up.
Now Todd McShay's taking time off to basically spend time with the family and his health, and that means it's like, my contract's coming up. I'm out of here.
Dude, ESPN is a diaper now.
Yeah, it is.
I don't know what happened there, dude. I don't know what's going on behind the scenes, but whoever is in charge of like operations and program management and station management and all that shit, they have absolutely shit the fucking bed. Whoever's running that show there, oversees all that stuff, should have been fired years ago. He's absolutely turned that place upside down when you had the fucking world by the balls.
Right.
Because you had all these sports that costed you nothing.
Right.
And then you just shit on them all, and then you were forced to give the NBA way more money than you should have.
Right.
And now you're resorted to fucking cornhole tournaments and shit for programming.
Yeah.
You can't even, and you had 84 channels. You don't have enough stuff for two.
For guys like us, Sports Center was must-watch TV.
Yep. Used to be.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, every day.
Whether it was Patrick and Oberman, and then you got Stuart Scott and Eisen. I mean, it was like, dude, I gotta watch it.
Yep. It was. I remember the Monday Sports Center played all day.
Yes.
And that was my only day off at my old shitty job because I worked 6 days a week, and I would literally have it on all day. I literally have it on all day because it was on and it was good and it was sports and I could do other things. So like if I missed it, I missed that segment. That's okay because in 2 hours it's gonna replay again.
Yes.
So while I'm doing chores around the house and being lazy and hanging out and catching lunch, I'll just keep popping in on the TV. And there it is. There's that spot I missed, and I'd end up catching the whole 2 hours of Sports Center, which you couldn't fucking do unless you just. I don't know. I can't. It's movies I can do it, I guess. With sports games, I could probably do it with, but like I got to get up and move around.
Yes.
After a couple hours.
I mean, my Sunday morning ritual was basically coffee, breakfast, read the paper,
right.
Sports reporters on before all the NFL pregame.
Yeah.
And what did I learn from that? Jesus Christ, the Boston Globe's got the best sports columnists in the country. Because it was like everybody's like, I'm going, crap, they could just fill it up with Boston guys on there and still have guys waiting in the wings.
Yeah.
On there. But yeah, Michigan beating up on Western Michigan on there. What did we learn? Not really much. No. Ronnie Bell's out for the season, so we'll see what happens with the receivers.
You're even more fucked now.
Yeah.
You were a 7-win seed team before. Without him, I don't know.
I mean, we'll see what happens on there. J.J. McCarthy, I mean, the freshman, what we learned, got a great arm. He made a throw that he should never have made, and he made it like butter. I mean, it was like, boom.
Well, it's one of those things we'll kind of see, right? It was Western.
Yes. And again, they're playing Washington this week, and they go, well, this could be a coming out game. Is it really? Because Washington lost to frickin' Montana. We don't even know how good Washington is.
Well, that was going to be my thing. Is like, yeah, it looked like that going in, but
we don't know. I mean, Washington can bounce back and beat us, or we can beat on. We don't know. I have no idea.
And that's my whole point about this season. Like, we don't know about a lot of teams, even teams.
The only team we know on there is Bama's going to win the damn thing all again.
I think so because there's just so much disarray that there's just no way there's any other team that really rises above. So it's going to be like Bama, and they're going to be at the very, and then everybody else is going to be in the middle.
All the on there again. And we said it last week too. Is Indiana going Iowa? Everybody loved Indiana on there. You got the Pennick on there. He's back at that, dude. You don't want to open your season in Kinnick Stadium in Iowa. You don't want to do that because Iowa's got everybody back. And now when they look at it, Wisconsin looked terrible. Iowa might win the Big Ten West. They probably will win the Big Ten. Unfortunately, Minnesota they lose Abraham out. He was carving up Ohio State.
Right.
That running back was just a beast. Ohio State offense looks great. Defense doesn't look that good. We'll see on it. But this is interesting.
Yeah.
We'll see. But everyone's like Texas. Well, yeah, come on, you beat Louisiana a lot. Louisiana. I mean, we'll see on that one on there. But yeah, it'll be interesting on there. But yeah, I mean, who knows if we're gonna even get through this whole season?
Well, yeah, the way things are looking now, it's like who knows? Yeah, like you said, we might be going with all this COVID stuff. You could have issues. So
Notre Dame hanging on to beat Florida State. I mean, Florida State battle back and you end up going overtime on that. I mean, I don't think much of Notre Dame this year either. So it's interesting to see what's going to happen while he's on that. So, but it's crazy.
yep, crazy. So we'll just, but nobody jump off any bridges or anything like that.
Oh
Just
no, the Red Box
deep
Bowl is
breaths.
canceled for 2021.
What the fuck is the Red Box Bowl?
I don't even know. I don't even know where it's. They said Pac-12 and Big Ten play. Okay, where?
Well, this is my thing.
What, the eighth seed of each conference?
We talked about this already.
So it leads us down to 41 bowl games.
The playoffs. The playoff is eliminated the bowl games. They don't mean anything.
Yes.
It's a money grab. It's an exhibition, really, as far as I'm concerned. It's just a chance to earn some cash, an extra chance to play another game and get some more practice, so that anybody that comes back next year. But beyond that, it's I don't get it. They don't mean anything anymore.
Yes.
So I propose that you just, as we have many times here, you just expand it, put each bowl game as a different, round, a different matchup is now one of those, the major bowl games. They all get the sponsor, and then that's it. It is what it is.
Yeah.
But it's going to be a mess this year. You ain't going to be able to. You're not. It's going to be hard to. I'm going to tell you this: if you're a gambling man, keep it tight to the vest this year. You know what I'm saying? If you like to partake, I mean, we know it. We've got WDGN over here, the Degenerate Gambling Network. That's all it does is talk, and they lose their ass. These guys suck, and they're supposed to be the leading experts on how you could save, how you could beat the books. No, dude, no one beats the books, so they wouldn't motherfucking be the books, dude. Let's get real. You're just trying not to lose your ass, and so if you are out there doing your thing, have fun, enjoy it. I'm not knocking anybody that gets out there and gambles, but this year, guys, play it a little close. Do some parlays.
Yes.
Save your ass. Like if you want to have a little fun, do some parlays where you can at least kind of like break even and not get killed on one, because I'm telling you, everything you think you're going to find out you didn't this year in college football.
Right.
It feels like that right off rip. That's my Scrappy Damas for college football. I don't have any real read on any of these teams, and that's the problem. Is even with the NFL, you kind of have an idea on some of these teams because they brought everybody back and whatever, maybe expanded, it got better, but like it's hard to tell but in college it's so much harder to see, to kind of predict, what you're going to get. And I just think there's going to be some people with their jaws open, not unlike Clemson fans.
Oh yeah.
I just think there's more to come.
Yeah, Clemson. I mean, the ACC may not get a team in the playoffs on there. It might be Big Ten, obviously.
It's
SEC.
going to be Ohio State. Let's be real.
It's going to be Ohio State.
Yeah.
It's going to be Bama.
There's nobody else in the.
Probably Oklahoma.
What about Georgia this year?
Georgia could go undefeated till they play Alabama in the SEC championship game, and they still may get in.
Right.
I don't know if anybody's in the West Coast is going to get in.
I mean, if they bang close with Bama, then you almost put them in, because it's like you ran with Bama. If everybody else gets blown out by Bama and they play them tight, you almost put them in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because then there's a compelling story that if they get
we'll see about
Georgia.
Again, we'll see. Yeah, but it could be Florida, Georgia. I mean, one of those two teams get in. But I don't see anybody in the West Coast getting in.
Yeah, I don't know. It's tough. It's a tough call, like I said. I mean, I'm like, and the only reason I even thought of Georgia is just because, I feel like they've gotten a little bit better, and they're kind of in there. So I don't know. Shoot, man. Like I said, if you are a gambling man this year, keep it tight to the vest. But if you're into fantasy football, Moose has got your back.
Yeah.
So
you probably already had your drafts, and you're probably like, okay, I'm good. I'm happy. Unless you did a dumb decision like one of the idiots on our league down there. You took quarterback in the first and second round.
oh jeez.
So you got Josh Allen and Dak Prescott. Great. Who's your running backs? Nobody. Who's your receiver? No. Great. You're going to finish last. Thanks for playing. But there's a lot of guys out there, guys to watch out for. Again, guys that you could keep an eye on. Might want to pick up on there. Marquise, again, wide receiver wise, I do really like Marquise Callaway on there. He's going to be the number one essentially in New Orleans till Thomas comes back, and we'll see what happens there wise on there. I definitely like him. Curtis Samuel's sitting out there in a lot of leagues still out there. Dude, he's going to be the number 2 receiver in Washington. He's got a better quarterback than he had last year in Carolina. And last year he was basically a top 36 receiver on there. I definitely like him. Keep another eye out too on Darnell Mooney. He's the number 2 receiver in Chicago. So just keep an eye on there, especially when you get Justin Fields playing when he starts as the starter. You'll be all right as well there on it. Running back wise is do not go after. Oh, Sony Michel's now in the Rams. Dude, Sony Michel has the knees of a 50-year-old who fell down a mountain. That fell down a mountain.
Yeah.
Tony Jones, New Orleans, is going to be the number 2 running back in there. Definitely pick him up on there. I think he's going to be definitely with it, especially with Kamara. I think Kamara's going to have a monster year, but I think Tony Jones is a great handcuff and a guy that's going to help out a little bit on there. Basically, we'll see about Wayne Gallman. Now he's with Atlanta. We'll keep an eye on that one. Darrington Evans is the number 2 on there. He's going to be out for half the season, but one to keep an eye out after week 4. He's going to be the number 2. He's going to be the change of pace back for the help out against so Henry doesn't get on there. Definitely one there. Chuba Hubbard. Great name. Chuba Hubbard.
That's like the Taco Charlton thing or whatever.
Chuba Hubbard is now the number 2 running back there. He's the rookie there from Oklahoma State. Big, beastie running back wise. It's going to definitely be a nice change of pace wise on there. I definitely like that. And again, if Barkley's kind of slow coming back on there, they've got Devontae Booker. Definitely one to look at on there. People are going to say J.D. McKissick. No. Don't do it. On there. Tight end wise on there, there's still a lot of guys out there. On there with Gerald Everett in Seattle. We'll see what happens there. Evan Ingram's hurt on there because he's always hurt. On that, I don't like anybody. Hunter Henry's probably the only one I do like on there. There's a lot of waiver wires on there. Quarterback wise, again, we've already progressed our love for Teddy Two Gloves on there. Definitely want to keep an eye out on that one. Justin Fields, he's gonna take over eventually for there. Definitely put one in if you can keep an eye on him. Put him in your on there as a blinder wise on there. I think definitely like that. So, and then Baker Mayfield, we'll see what happens on there. I think he's not gonna be your superstar, but if you need a game on there and they're playing something garbage on there, definitely go with Baker Mayfield in your lineup there as on there. And again, we'll see about Garoppolo. We'll see about Trey Lance on there. Who's going to take over with it? I think Trey Lance will eventually take over. But again, they're going to run the ball a lot. They're not going to pass it a lot with it. So it's going to be interesting on there. Guys, keep an eye out on there. Because again, 17 weeks. It's going to be 17 games this year. So it's going to be a war of attrition on there in fantasy football. So you definitely need guys on your bench that are going to help out. You may want to get guys that basically as a handcuff to help out on there. So if you've got Kamara, pick up Tony Jones. If you've got McCaffrey, get Chuba Hubbard. All right. I mean, you've got to get these guys out there on there with it on there. On there. So.
All right. There you go. Not bad, man. It's not bad. All right. Now the moment of truth. Lots of games. Everybody's playing. So I guess we just hold on a second. I guess we just get into it, don't we?
Yes.
What? I don't have it in front of me. Which weeks are we starting with here?
Week 1 in the NFL.
Yeah.
We've got tomorrow night at Tampa Bay. The defending Super Bowl champions, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, are facing the Dallas Cowboys. Tampa Bay is a 7.5 point on there. Dallas has no Zach Martin. You've got a quarterback with a bum shoulder, and your offensive line is old, and your defense is terrible.
Wow.
Give me Tampa Bay.
Yeah, without a doubt. Without a doubt. I mean, you're talking about the defending champion against a broken-ass team. Sorry, we talked about it earlier in the breakdown going forward, or going in the first half here. Consistency here, Moose. Consistency. Yeah.
Yes.
It's gonna
Buccaneers,
be
baby.
It's gonna be a slaughter.
Yes.
In my opinion, they're gonna get beat up, and everybody in Cowboy Country is gonna be like, "What are we gonna do?" That might be the classic overreaction we'll be joking about next week.
Maybe
But,
you should have made a trade for Stafford.
yeah, right.
It would only cost you a couple number ones. So we got the first of the 1 o'clock games. We got actually a pretty good 1 o'clock game. We'll see. And Pittsburgh is on the road to open the season against Buffalo Bills Mafia, baby. Buffalo is a 6.5 point favorite at home.
Buffalo at home against the Steelers. Now, we talked about it earlier. I like the Steelers. The coaching staff is going to steal a game, but I just don't see how it's this one. I mean, I like the Steelers. They should have, they like we said, they could have an above 500 winning season and not make the playoffs. It's just one of those wins. It's not going to be here. I mean, Buffalo. I mean, they could get really close to getting in. I mean, to the Super Bowl. I see them in the
They have
championship.
addressed their issues, what they had, and I think they're going to be better off on there. And I mean, as good as Pittsburgh's defense in the secondary is, dude, there's too many weapons for Buffalo.
Yeah, I agree. Yep, way too many.
All right, here we got a game on there. Basically, who get on there? Two teams that are actually going to be better than they were last year, but still not great. The Jets are on the road at Carolina. They're a 4.5 point favorite. Can Sam Darnold stick it to his former team on that? Yes. It's still the Jets. It's still the Jets. It's still the Jets.
Yeah. Who do they got? The Carolina Panthers?
Carolina Panthers play the Jets. So you got Zach Wilson making his debut with the Jets on there against Sam Darnold making his debut with Carolina.
Yeah, I like it. Yeah, I don't even know. Jeez. Yeah, I'm with you. I don't even know what else to say.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I've got nothing. This is one of those matchups where they're both.
You're not thrilled about it?
Yeah.
There's no interest in it? There's no base idea?
There's nothing here.
You talk about here
again.
You think that one's bad? Here, wait till the next one. We have to hear back.
So yeah, no, I'll take Carolina, I guess.
Okay, so we got the next game on there is the worst team in the NFL last year versus the worst team in the NFL this year. We got Jacksonville on the road at Houston. Jacksonville is a 2.5 point favorite on the road. Yes, because they should be, because Houston is hot garbage.
Houston and Jacksonville?
Yes. Tyrod Taylor starting for Houston versus Trevor Lawrence for Jacksonville.
That is the most dysfunctional debacle of an organization. And because of that, you're going to lose games you probably should win, right?
Yes.
I
don't know if Houston should win any games.
Well, that's kind of, I guess, my point. Like they're bad in every aspect, from the very tippity top all the way down to the very last position on the bench. I feel like I don't know, man. I can't say anything good about them right now.
Houston, no.
That's what I'm saying. So I'm gonna take Jacksonville, but I'm not. It's not like I'm thinking, ooh, Jacksonville's like some. I don't know, whatever. Here we go again.
I don't think Jacksonville's great or anything.
No,
I
don't expect them to do anything either. Yeah. Who's watching this game? Jesus.
Nobody.
Whatever.
Unless you're like Trevor Lawrence's mom.
Yeah, exactly. Well, if you want to watch Trevor Lawrence, I get it, but jeez, whatever. Anyway.
So we got Arizona, also 1 o'clock game. They're 3.5-point dog on the road against Tennessee on here. Much as I do like Arizona this year, going out again, West Coast, or again, a team from the Western time zone or Pacific time zone going out east in it. I think Tennessee on there. I don't know if they've got enough on there defense-wise to stop Derrick Henry and Tannehill and A.J. Brown and now Julio on there. I'm going to say Tennessee in this one. I think it's going to be a good game to watch on it, so I would take Tennessee. Don't know if they'll cover the 3.5. They probably will win by a field goal. But it's at least something where it's like if you got stuck watching the game, it's not a bad one to watch.
Yeah. If you got to pick a game in this time slot, then yeah, this isn't a bad one. If you're stuck with this game, locally or whatever, this will be pretty good. I think it'll be fun. I got the Titans too. I wouldn't be surprised if they got that. They beat the spread there. But once again, I told you guys this year is one of those keep it tight to the vest with your bets, because gosh, you just never really know. But yeah, I definitely got Tennessee in this one.
All right, here's another good one in there. The Chargers are making the trip out east. They're facing the Washington football team. Chargers are only a 0.5-point favorite.
Chargers only half my favorite.
0.5 point. So it basically is just not even a pick 'em on here. It's a 0.5-point favorite on this. So Washington's getting a 0.5 point on there. I think I'm going to go with. I think this is going to be a great game on there. But again, I'm going to think this West Coast team goes out east. It has to play at 1 o'clock on there. I'm going to have to go with Washington.
I would normally probably agree with that. This is going to be a close game to me. I'm going to go the other way with it, Moose.
Okay, I can't blame you on that. I mean, there's one on there. I don't.
Yeah, San Diego. If you're going to do it, this is the team that's probably going to do that. It's all about how they handle that defense to me. You know, that Washington defense.
Yes.
If they can handle the pass rush, then I don't think it'll be. And that's kind of my thing. You know, if they can game plan for the pass rush and they can not do a bunch of 3-and-outs or turn over the ball a lot or anything like that, then I think they're good to go, because I just don't think Washington's got a whole lot of offensive output. And if they can stop the pass rush, then San Diego.
The Chargers.
The Chargers are in good shape. So I'm going to take the Chargers in this one.
All right. Philadelphia is on the road against Atlanta. Philly is actually a 3.5-point dog on this one. I'm not buying anything about, again, this game on there. I'm going to just have to go with Philly because I'm not buying it. You know what? Just because I think at least the quarterback can make plays in it. I think they're going to get some pressure on Matt Ryan, and their defense is terrible. I'm going to go with Philly.
Yeah, I can't hate on you for that. It's one of those things where, like, I just don't know what Atlanta's going to be.
Yeah.
And I feel like I got a little bit better feeling with Philly, and they just seem like a team that's just kind of gritty enough to kind of muscle through and win some games. They're going to play good enough, and they're going to muscle through some things. I don't mind Jalen Hurst. So, like, I'm pretty cool with that. I'm with you. I'm gonna take Philly too, but yeah, I feel like I'm doing it because of Atlanta more than because of Philly, because there's not enough known. I just don't feel confident in Atlanta to get anything done really. So I don't know. So yeah, I'm with you.
Actually, here and again we got another 1 o'clock game. Actually, this might be the game on there. Seattle goes out to Indianapolis. Seattle's again another 0.5-point favorite. No T.Y. Hilton. Of course, I'm not thinking much of them right now at this stage of his career. Defense in Indy's really good. Seattle, we don't know yet what their defense is. We know their offensive line is terrible.
Right.
Quarterback-wise, I'm going to give Russell definitely over Wentz. Yep. Receiver-wise.
Well, Wentz is not even going to play, right?
No, Wentz is going to play.
Oh, he's going to play?
Yeah, Wentz is starting.
I thought he had an injury issue.
He did, but they basically came back on there and they said full practice, and he's going to play week 1.
Interesting. Yeah, I don't know, man. Indy, I think, has got potential. I am just not sold on Wentz. And I know the Seahawks are going to have issues within their own division and stuff like that. But, man, I don't know, dude. I'm not feeling confident about Indy yet. I need to see something out of them with Wentz at the quarterback position. We have seen nothing.
Yes.
Less than nothing. And,
I think,
and he was I'm sorry, but he's a head case. He was been a head case over
yeah,
there.
yes.
And he's already kind of started his bullshit over there. So like dude, I'm not.
This can go either way on this one. I do
could.
on it. I think I'm gonna go with Indy just because I think their running game's better and I think their defense is better.
Their defense does feel better. We'll see about that running game when they don't, if Wentz isn't, you know what I mean? If they're not, so.
I mean, this could go again. This is a flip of the coin.
Flip of the coin. Yeah, I'm flipping the other way though.
I'm not putting money on it. That's for damn sure.
Well, once again, this is what we were talking about. We've been talking about as a theme here tonight. We're not. You keep that money tight. Yeah, I'm gonna flip the other way though. I'm gonna take Seattle.
Okay. All right, we got Minnesota also 1 o'clock game. Minnesota goes down to Cincinnati. They're a 3.5 point favorite on the road. Minnesota's defense is much improved. I think their offensive line with Barrymore will be better as well. Key is it's Kirk Cousins. I mean, is he going to do Kirk Cousins things and make basically look great, and then all of a sudden basically throw the game away? Can Dalvin Cook break off and run on it? I don't know what we're going to get out of JoJo on there right now. I think he's looking better as the preseason progressed on there. Jamar Chase has dropped balls on there, so we'll see what on there. I think Jamar Chase is still down the line is still going to be showing that he was the best receiver out of this out of the draft and that. I'm gonna go with Minnesota because I do think again they have a little bit better. They're just on a better running game. Receiver wise, you got Justin Jefferson who's a beast on there, and I think the defense is just better than Cincinnati's. Even though I do like JoJo better than Kirk Cousins.
Right. Yeah, I'm with you. I do like Burrows better than Cousins. I'm gonna reluctantly take Minnesota with you on this one, but I expect some major improvements from Cincinnati this year, right?
Yeah.
If they can keep my man healthy, and I don't know about Minnesota. I still don't know. So
I think Minnesota could be, again, as I said, they could be great or this team could implode. There is no middle ground.
Yeah, and we talked. Yeah, I was gonna say we talked about it in the first hour, and I just, I don't feel good about it. I'll take Minnesota, but I don't feel good about it. No.
All right, well, this should be one of the easiest ones to pick up on there because it's the last of the 1 o'clock games. San Francisco is at Detroit. The Niners are a 7.5 point favorite. New regime for Detroit, new quarterback for Detroit, no receivers for Detroit, no secondary for Detroit, no defensive end for Detroit, no line. Give me Frisco.
Without a doubt, Detroit is only going to be better than Houston.
Yes.
This year. That's it. Every other team, and that doesn't even guarantee that they'll beat a team like Houston. It's just I would imagine they'd be a little bit better play, more competitive, less issues, blah blah blah. But they're going to be bad. They're going to be one of the 3 worst teams in football.
Oh yeah,
without a doubt. So.
I mean, the only plus side people are always like, "Oh, we should have took it." Trust me, Sewell will be fine down the line. Don't worry about it. The dude is he's 19 years old.
Right.
He didn't play last year. He'll be fine. Trust me. It's the right pick on there. But again, Frisco's going to destroy Detroit.
Absolutely. 4
o'clockers. 4:25 game. Again, we got Cleveland going out to Kansas City. Rematch of the playoff game last year on there. KC is a 6.5 point favorite. I think, again, Cleveland's better than they were last year.
Yep.
Kansas City's got just the offensive line issue on there.
Yep.
It still doesn't matter.
No. You know what? I think it'll be fun early.
I think it's going to be a fun game on there.
Yeah, I think it'll be fun early, but I think once
if
you
they
get
can
into the
basically
third...
slow down Kansas City a little bit on there and just keep the running game going for Cleveland. But if it turns into a track meet, then KC's going to win this one going away.
Oh, yeah. I think, to me, it'll be interesting going into the third, and then after that is when the pressure will be on. You know, Cleveland, I think, can keep it close until then, but too much KC in the second half. So
yes.
That's who I got.
All right, Miami goes up to New England. They're 2.5-point favorite or 2.5-point dog on the road. We start the Mac Jones era in New England and the Tua era on there with it. I'm gonna have to go with New England, man, just because when we count them out, they're back. They're at least better than they were last year.
Yeah,
The defense is all back on there. They've got to rebuilt the whole defensive line on there, the pass rush on there. Offensive line has been addressed on there. They got a quarterback now.
well, I saw more out of Mac Jones in this preseason than I saw out of Tua since he's been in the league.
Yes.
To me, that's the end of the story. That's the beginning and the end of the story of this game.
Right.
I don't know what to tell you. Belichick's going to do Belichickian things. You know what I'm saying? Like, the Patriots are going to do Patriot things. But Miami's going to do Miami things.
Yes.
And one of those is this Tua situation. And like I said, I've seen more out of Mac Jones in this preseason, than I've seen out of Tua the whole time he's been in the league. And I know a lot of that's injury, but it doesn't change it.
Right.
You know, so it is
what
what it is.
Again, I do like some of the guys on there with Miami. I like Jalen Waddle as just going to be your slot receiver. Devontae Parker. I like Myles Gaskin. I like Gesicki. Problem is I'm not sure about Tua.
Right.
And again, I do. We look at what we've seen with Mac Jones, and I'm going to say is that right now I'm going to take Mac Jones over Tua.
Yep.
All right, so we got a guy on there. Denver is going out east at a 4:25 game against the New York Football Giants. Denver is a 2.5-point favorite. I can't believe they're only a 2.5-point favorite.
Well, yes.
Bradley Chubb and Von Miller.
G League. Yeah, there is no G League.
Bradley Chubb and Von Miller will kill Daniel Jones.
Oh man, Denver can't get their quarterback situation figured out for the life of them, but it won't effing matter.
Teddy Two Gloves, baby.
Yeah, I mean
Teddy Two Gloves.
Yeah, well, that's gonna be the thing. If they're that good around Teddy Two Gloves, they're gonna exceed expectations because everybody's sleeping on him.
Yes. On there. So we got the last of the 4:25 games. Green Bay goes down to actually I think it's in Jacksonville. They're playing New Orleans. Green Bay is a 4.5-point favorite on there. Yeah. Yeah. It's good. I don't care how good the secondary is in New Orleans and the pass rush. Dude, you're not going to be able to cover Devontae Adams. Like, on there. He can be double covered. He's still going to basically control it. So, give me Green Bay.
Yeah, I'm with you. Green Bay all day. I just I don't know how you can kind of go the other way.
James throw more interceptions than touchdowns?
That's really the conversation. Is like how many touchdowns to interceptions do we got going on here?
Yes. And unfortunately, the two primetime games Sunday night and Monday are going to be snooze fest. The NBC game on Sunday night, we got Chicago on the road going to the Rams. Chicago 7.5-point favorite on there. 7.5-point dog. Give me the Rams on there. This will, I think, Aaron Donald is going to effectively end Andy Dalton's career.
Yeah. We talked about it earlier, and yeah, this is a business decision to not get the young man murdered in his first game, and the Red Ryder BB gun is the sacrificial lamb.
Yes.
And you know what happens when you bring a BB gun to,
a full-out gunfight battle? They die.
You get, I mean, pew, 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 pew.
Pew, pew, pew.
I mean, I'm sorry. It would be pew. Ah! Because you got to pump it like 80 times to get any kind of.
Yeah, he'll get 4 pumps in there, and he'll have Aaron Donald on top of him, just throwing him into
the. Like that's. I mean, if it's a pump per second, he's fucked.
Yes. If he's gonna get oh god, I gotta get that 8th pump. Holy shit, he's gonna kill me. I know. So we got Monday night game. I don't even know who the Monday night crew is anymore. I don't care.
Oh, dude, do they even have a crew, or is it just like some robotic shit? Like
Booger with his jacked up fingers.
They should just have somebody with a soundboard and all the clips from Madden NFL, and then they can just call it like that.
Right.
Like, you don't even actually need anybody from ESPN because they're all garbage.
Yes.
So yeah, you're right. I'm not even sure who's doing it. Oh my god.
I don't even know, and I don't. On it. So, and then we got Baltimore is again on the road to go to Vegas. 4.5. Why is Vegas getting a Monday night game on there? Vegas is garbage on there. Baltimore's 4.5 point favorite. Yes, Baltimore should be a 4.5 point favorite. Bums right. Baltimore again. The only reason they're only 4.5 because we don't know how many yards Gus Edwards is going to run for, but we know Lamar Jackson will probably throw for 250 and run for 150. Give me Baltimore.
Yeah, I'll take Baltimore. Yeah, it's going to be all 3 yards in a cloud of dust, right?
Yeah.
That's going to be the story of this game, in my opinion. The Raiders, they're just not. I don't know. It's just from the head coach down to all the position players. Dude, they got that team so jacked up. Like, they had an opportunity to do something with that team when he came in there, and with the picks and the young talent they had, it's a mess. So we talked about it earlier. Yeah, I'm with you, Baltimore.
Oh, Gruden won the Super Bowl. He won a Super Bowl with who?
With
Tony
Dungy's
Dungy's team.
Yeah, Dungy's
So when it was on him, he basically turned that team into a dumpster fire.
Yeah. So there you go.
There we go with our pick of
that pick of this week.
Also, we get a little code down here is Jim Brandstetter and Dan Deerdorf are hanging it up for doing the play-by-play and color commentary for Michigan after this season.
Yes, and I heard that Karsh and Jansen got it.
Yes.
I love those guys. I want to say, okay. I want to say that I love Karsh, Doug Karsh. Very good on the radio. Very talented guy as far as that shit goes. Play-by-play, meh.
We'll see.
I can live without it. I've heard him do preseason games, and I'm
Hopefully they'll get a little better. Maybe there'll be some chemistry with him
Matt
and Jansen.
Shepard would be the guy.
But Shepard's doing the Tigers, and it's a step down.
Yeah, I agree. But there's nobody, and Jansen's terrible, dude. Have you ever listened to this guy talk? He sucks. He's horrible.
Right.
I'm sorry. Like, I just can't do it. I
mean,
love
Brandstetter Deerdorf for like your drunk uncles at home.
Oh,
on the holidays.
Yeah.
Because at their stage of their career, because again, in his prime, Deerdorf was a great color commentary.
They were
guy.
good, but they were like caricatures, unfortunately.
Right. Well,
and it was silly.
Yes.
It's not quite the Yankees with that old couple over there being goofy on their but they did. They had their whatever goofy charm or whatever you want to call it. But yeah, I'm just not a huge fan. But like, congratulations to those guys. That's a great gig to get.
Yes.
And Doug Karsh deserves it. He works his ass off.
Yes.
Jansen's kind of been handed shit, so as far as I can tell, not to say he doesn't work his ass off, but I think he'd rather sell houses. Just saying. Love you guys. Be good to each other.
We'll be back next week. Peace out, brothers.
You're listening to Studio 57 Radio, your home for underground hip hop, rap, and R&B.